Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Little Britain controversies.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we'll be looking at the shocking scandals that have hit the comedy sketch show both on and off the small screen. Who would win in an arm wrestling match? David Walliams or Matt Lucas? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Reading the Room. With the UK under lockdown, the BBC decided to put together the Big Night In as part of 2020's comic relief. And for reasons unbeknownst to the British public, Walliams and Lucas were allowed to create an inappropriate sketch featuring their Little Britain characters. This item features Lou telling Andy he went to the supermarket to get his favourite foods. Andy proceeds to say that what he wants for dinner is bat. Yep.
Chicken nugget, chips, more chips. What would you like to eat?
Bat.
They decided to go with one of the most uncomfortable theories on what kicked off the worldwide events. People issued official complaints and accused the sketch of racism and stoking fears. Not the best distraction for lockdown. Number 9. Playground copycats. When Little Britain was born into existence, they primarily aimed the programme towards adults. But that started to change over time when the show began to build a massive fan base of kids. The Radio Times estimated 280,000 10 to 15-year-olds tuned into the show. One head teacher at a primary school in Kent called for parents to stop their children from watching the After Watershed programme. The head teacher stated that children were copying Little Britain sketches on the playground. Some of the school's staff who watched the show felt it was really inappropriate for kids. When asked about children loving the show, Walliams said that they weren't meant to see it, but it's great that they love it. Number 8. The video game. Whenever a TV show gets successful, spin-offs will inevitably be put together for other media. Sadly, for Little Britain, they rushed a video game out in 2007 that was absolutely terrible. The whole thing is made up of mini-games featuring the show's characters, with Walliams and Lucas providing awkward voice acting. There's a Pac-Man rip-off game with Marjorie Dawes, a Tetris-esque game and vomit aiming with Maggie Blackamoor, and a bikini-clad Vicky Pollard that skates to collect CDs.
Oh my god, I still can't believe I just done that.
Both critics and fans tore into the game with a lot of venom. Eurogamer finished their destructive review with, "The game's badly animated, graphically poor, and should shame all who made it and all who buy it."
Oh, you claim to be gay, do you?
Number 7. Racism. Even when the show came out in 2003, many of the sketches were already horribly outdated. So much so that viewers called the show racist. These sketches relied heavily on uncomfortable stereotypes and shocking humour. Firstly, we have Lucas dressing up as, we can't believe this is her name, Ting Tong Macadangdang, an Asian mail-order bride with an offensive accent.
Hello, Mr. Dudley.
Or there's Marjorie, who doesn't understand whenever somebody who isn't white British is talking.
Marmalade.
Sorry, I couldn't understand the word.
There's also Linda Flint, the uni counsellor, who says horrible things on the phone about her students as they sit in front of her. And of course, Maggie, that projectile vomits when eating anything from someone non-white or part of the gay community. Number 6. Chav stereotypes. In 2011, journalist Owen Jones released his non-fiction book, Chavs, The Demonisation of the Working Class. Within the pages, he uses the government and Margaret Thatcher as examples of entities attacking the working class, while Jones also demonises the Little Britain character Vicky Pollard.
New, but, year, but, new, but, yeah.
He argued that Vicky helped fire up the embers of stereotyping against working class people, especially as Walliams and Lucas both went to private schools. And he's not alone. Many find that Vicky, who's portrayed as a combative, rude and crude chav, just stirs the pot on the UK's classism issue. Some critics slated the punch-down humour of the show, pointing to Vicky as an example of this. Number 5. Ableism. When you have a host of different dodgy characters, the various isms are likely to crop up. This time, we have Little Britain taking shots at disabled folks. Fun. For starters, we have the character of Anne. a violent psychiatric patient that loves licking faces and smearing her bodily waste on things. There's Andy, a man in a wheelchair who pretends to be disabled to take advantage of his carer Lou.
Hello.
When Lou's distracted, Andy will dive into a swimming pool, complete a high jump, run, or whatever else. It's also played into the myth that disabled people are faking their conditions. Academic Deborah Finding released her study in 2008 where she discloses that the show panders to prejudice. Number 4. Stalked. In 2004, Sarah Bartholomew met Walliams and he quickly became her obsession. She began following him around the UK on tours and sent him many gifts and explicit letters. In one of these letters, to stop him from seeing anybody else, she threatened to abduct or slay him. In 2006, Bartholomew gained access to a private BBC area and waited to meet the unsuspecting Walliams. He had to call security to remove her. She was arrested numerous times and warned off, but Bartholomew kept stalking Walliams. Eventually, she was arrested again and taken to trial. Bartholomew's lawyer was instructed by her to make her strong feelings towards Walliams known to the court. Bartholomew was admitted to a psychiatric hospital for treatment. Number 3. Name dropped. Sometimes a show can be unfortunately linked with a terrible crime. In 2021, the UK was shocked by the news that MP Sir David Amess was killed from multiple stabbings whilst hosting a constituency surgery in Leigh-on-Sea. The attacker, Ali Harbi Ali, was arrested at the scene. In 2022, the trial got underway. The court witnessed Ali's police interviews. In the initial one, he details the incident and admits to the dreadful crime that he committed. In the following interview, he was reminded of what he said previously, particularly about the extremist references. He responded while chuckling, the way I worded it, it sounds like a Little Britain episode. Ali received a life sentence for his actions. Number 2. LGBTQIA+ backlash. Numerous times in Little Britain, the gay community has been stereotyped on screen. For starters, there's Daffyd, the only gay in the village, Thomas, who shows homophobia to others who identify as part of the community.
I'm a gay.
I don't think so.
The character was reportedly used by people as a tool to bully others. Lucas, who's gay himself, said in 2019 that the character was meant to be a celebration of gay people. The show also received a backlash from the trans community with the character of Emily, I'm a Lady, Howard. Lucas mentioned in an interview in 2017 that he regretted Little Britain's anti-trans jokes in the past. So he showed that by later bringing the character back for 2020's The Big Night In. Number 1. Blackface. This one deserved its own entry due to just how insane it is. In 2020, Little Britain was dropped by many streaming services due to their offensive portrayals of people from other races. Lucas and Walliams came out and apologised for a selection of their creations, especially when the two have put on blackface for characters. There's the Caribbean woman Desiree DeVere, the nemesis of Bubbles DeVere. Then, the exchange reverend from the US, Jesse King, that stereotyped black Christian culture across the pond.
It's gonna fuck apart!
In the first episode, they even had a sketch where they played a couple of minstrels listening to the radio. The two continued this grim habit on their next joint project, Come Fly With Me.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo UK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.